If you assimilate into white supremacy, you're going to have to attack FBAs. That's the only way you can show the white supremacists that you're on their side. You have to attack FBAs. I'm not like them. See, I don't like them either. Remember that woman say, I hate them. She's on team white supremacy. She's telling the white supremacists, see, I'm different. Yeah, I may kind of resemble them a little bit, but I'm different. I hate them more than you do. I saying it with my full chest. Brad and Connor, you ain't got to say nothing about them. I'll say it for you. And you really think that's going to stop Trump and Tom Homan from getting you on out of here? Them folks see their numbers decreasing. They don't matter. They don't care how much you can't stand us. They still want you gone. That's where they at with it. They know they're going to be a minority, and they try to do everything they can to prevent it. That's why they want Trump to get all of y'all out of here. Yes, meritorious manumission all over again. That's exactly what it is. And that's why they import. Listen, think about it. America is very strategic on who they import over here. Notice they don't import the Julius Malema types over here. Have you noticed that? They never import them types. It's Africans in the continent that think just like Julius Malema. Don't get it twisted. They got Africans like Ibrahim Traore, Captain Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso. That's Africans that's down like that. But they never import them here. Nope, we get the shucking and jiving boot licks, the sellouts of their nation. That's who they import over here. They strategically pick the sellouts. You understand? We don't get no riders imported over here. A lot of them, the ones that the American embassy want is her. They want her over here. And that's done by design. The American embassy is the one that approved the visa. You have to think about that. They can't just up and come over here like talking about. And think about it. The people who's at the American embassy, they don't have FBAs at the American embassy. And I always took issue with that. Why don't you have FBAs running embassies, at least in Caribbean or African countries? Why FBAs can't do it? They never put an FBA in charge of an embassy. Because if we let them come over here, we're going to make sure they're not sellouts. You put me in charge of an embassy, oh no, the sellouts, you staying right where you at. We don't need that over here. Oh, you a rider? Oh, you cool? Okay, I can let you come. That's done on purpose. The folks. Trust me, all the issues that we have, the folks is all behind it. It is them. And I'm not saying every last person that came over is like that, okay? I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is they don't want no FBA people that come over here to link up with FBAs. They don't want the Julius Malema types over here. They don't want that. They don't want it. Now, let's get to the last thing I want to cover here before we wrap this up. Cultural superiority complex. Now, some, and I say some, African and Caribbean immigrants may carry a sense of cultural superiority, viewing their tradition, languages, or family structures as more intact than those of FBAs. They may view FBA culture overly influenced by American individualism, consumerism, or perceived dysfunction without recognizing it as adaptation to centuries of displacement and oppression. Once again, we are a different group of people. We get bored with things pretty quick, and what we said last year we don't say this year, and that's why they say we don't have a culture. From the understanding I've got is that because we don't do the same thing for freaking thousands of years, the same kind of clothing, the same kind of food, the same kind of dance, the same kind of makeup, the same kind of way of getting married, the same language, the same. That's not us. We are a progressive people. We are a progressive culture. We change. We constantly do things, especially when we see our culture being taken by the folks and we look at that and say, oh man, that crap is lame. We don't We don't want to be doing anything they're doing. So let's go ahead on and switch this thing up. That's how it was definitely for growing up. This is the way it was for us. We'll be saying a certain thing, and then when white folks learn it and start saying it, like, oh, we switch it right then and there because we don't want them, number one, understanding how we speak. You can say AAVE, or I would say FBA, VE, right? The moment we hear them learning anything, we switch it. If it's a certain type of dance, if they learn it, we switch it. If it's a certain type of song they liking, we switch it. We always was great about switching things. Unfortunately, some of you today have become lazy and you have not switched fast enough, and yet they can keep learning you. Now, the internet, of course, makes it a little easier for them to keep tabs on us and our culture, but we've always switched things. So we don't understand the 1,000-year-old tradition stuff. We just don't understand it, right? Because we are constantly a progressive people. And you shouldn't look down on somebody because they're progressive people. Just like we shouldn't look down on you for doing the same thing for 1,000 years. I mean, if you happy with it, cool, be happy with it. But don't talk down on somebody else when they cool with their own culture. Some things we have that's still the same, right? Certain foods, certain traditions. But then when it comes to styles of dress and comes to certain lingo, maybe music, whatever, we always switching things up. And that's what I love about our culture. We're not a boring people. We're just not boring. And if you feel your culture is superior, okay, cool. Why don't you show me how superior your culture is in your homeland? Why aren't you better off than we are with our dysfunctional culture? That's the only thing I say about that. You have your culture in your homeland. You have your own homeland, and yet your culture, and you say it's superior, but yet it doesn't show in the function of your nation. Yet in our quote unquote dysfunctional culture, or no culture at all, how is it that we have so many black millionaires and billionaires who are FBAs? How can we have so many successful FBAs in America? Even our quote unquote ghettos looks like a suburb. It doesn't look like a shanty town. It just don't. Even in our dysfunctional culture. That's why I don't like that. My thing is, I don't think it's wise to do pound for pound because that's not something that a lot of people are not going to win. Don't think you're better. You're not better, bruh. If we breathe in oxygen, we are the same. If you got to go use the restroom, we are the same. We got to eat food. We may eat different foods, but we still got to eat food. We are the same. We got to sleep at night. We are the same. You're not better. I'm not better. I don't think I'm better than nobody. I'm not. I'm equal to everybody. That's why I don't like titles. People like say, oh, well, Phil, you got this title and that. I said, nah, don't call me no titles. I'm just Phillip. I'm just brother, whatever you want to call me. I don't go with them titles. Yes, I understand what my titles are, but I don't care about those titles. I say I'm a regular person just like everybody else. I'm not popping my collar to anything. So don't come over here popping your collar about a culture that you had to flee from. Don't do that. Don't come over here talking about you hating FBAs because you don't have to be here. You can go back to your homeland. Oh, man, we can call Trump to help you, give you a free plane ticket back to your homeland. You know, just saying, you don't like FBAs. You know, and that's just that. You know, so what am I saying about this? Listen, even though this channel is called African Diaspora News Channel, and we bring news from all over the diaspora, and I will work with people all over the diaspora. I talk to people from the diaspora every day, literally every day. And our mission is to keep bringing news and information and connecting through the diaspora, right? But in the midst of connecting, we're gonna have these conversations. And these conversations are had in love. They're not had in because if I can't stand you, I won't even mention it. That's how I am. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. I don't care about them people. That's how I get down. But I'm not like that. I say, hey, we chastise those we love. There you go. Like the Lord say, I chastise those I love, right? But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. It's very important. Download the app, and we'll be giving you some information shortly. So get your chains together. For like I say, November, I'll be doing a Ghana trip, and then April, Brazil. So, but Ghana will be coming up first, right? So we will probably put that information out first. And you can put I think the deposit was like $199. I think that's how much the deposit was last time, and they just make your payments, and you'll be good to go on that. But thank y'all for listening, and we.